last episode, I purchased a new steering wheel extender boss for my 911 to improve the driving experience. This is something I plan to install myself. At the same time, I plan to fit a brand new wheel I'd bought a few years ago. The job should have been straightforward, however the steering boss included a substandard wiring solution which just didn't work. So I elected to modify the existing loom in the wheel by cutting two of them up and soldering them together. This is when things didn't go exactly to plan. There's a problem though. The horn's not working. In this episode, I'm hoping to fix those issues so the job can be ticked off as completed. Plus, I now have an official Porsche computer, so I'm hoping to make a few modifications to the car's electrical systems. When I did the wiring the first time, when I had the two looms and I cut the first loom, and after I cut it, I realized, because I thought all of the wires are different colors, right? So I thought I can just cut the two looms, cut the pieces off each one that I need, and solder them together, and that's it, I'm done. But after I cut, I realized that there were 4 black wires and I didn't know where they went after I cut the first loom. So I realized I had to trace those wires and I needed to keep a record. So I drew a makeshift diagram of all of those black wires. So I made that diagram and then I soldered all of the wires together as per the diagram, or so I thought. And I fitted it to the car. Well, I just unraveled the entire loom. I unraveled it all and I traced it. I did continuity test and I realized that I got 2 of the wires crossed. So one of them was going to a center plug that goes to the horn, and the other one was going to an earth. And I got them cross soldered, if you like. So once I did the continuity test, I realized I made a mistake, and now I'm fixing that mistake. And hopefully now when I go back to the car, the horn should work. I've also confirmed that little device that I talked about, the little circuit board on the left-hand side of the wheel, that is for the horn. So there's a magnet inside of the airbag, and when the magnet lines up with that little piece on that circuit, that's what makes the horn beep. And if that wire is not connected, then that's why it's not working. So I'm gonna solder these things back up together, and then I should be good to go. So I'm back in the garage, just got to put this back together. It's positively boiling in here now. It's 8 degrees. So we just need to reassemble the wheel, hopefully for the last time. And then put this back in the car, and this should work. That's looping in there like this. As you can see, it's a bit thicker than it was. So we just got to make sure that plug is plugged in here. Yeah. Okay, so wheel to go back on. Right, so that's in. I'll put it in, but not tight. Just have to remember to go back in and tighten it up properly afterwards. Right, so that's on. So make sure that wire goes back in its little groove. All right, so that's on now. Here we go. This is it. Here goes nothing. Now reconnect the battery. Hopefully the airbag light goes out again, and then the horn should work when I put the key in. There goes nothing. Airbag light go off, please. Airbag light is off. So there we go. A working horn and a working airbag. Oh man, I'm so relieved. What a drama that was. Unbelievable. Wheel is on, all nice and shiny, or not shiny as the case may be, because it's matte finish. The only thing left to do is put the yellow stripe on, and this is good to go now. This is working. Everything's working. So I'm happy. A new thing that I've recently got myself is a PIWIS system, PIWIS, Porsche computer that the technicians use at Porsche to do all of their fault diagnosis and all that kind of stuff. And I've got my own version of it now, and fully functional, except for I can't code new items onto the car because this needs to be connected to Porsche's internal server network. So I've been working on some of the faults that come up on the car. Now the car's a heavily modified car, so some of faults I can't do anything about, but some of them I can. Another thing is this car used to have a multi-function steering wheel on it when I originally bought it, and it's still programmed as that in the car. Now, some of the websites I went to at the time said that you needed to have multi-function steering wheel activated for the horn to work when you upgraded to this steering wheel. Now, I'm going to find out if that's true, because I'm going to disable it if I can. I'm going to use the programming to have a look. So when you initially log into PIWIS, you get all of this list here. You can see electronics, PSM, PAS, all of these acronyms, power assisted steering, PSM. I've got a PSM failure on my car right now. That's just purely because I disconnected the battery. That always happens if I drive the car 100 meters or so. That will go away, so I'm not concerned about that one. But we've got all of these different things in here: instrument cluster, navigation, telephone, etc. If I scroll down here, I go to steering column switch, and then I go to programming, and then you see there I've got multifunction steering wheel. So it says installed. So if I click on the list, I get the option to say not installed, and when I go down here, it says right. Click on that. And then up here, waiting, code has been written successfully. There we go. That's what we were after. So steering column switch, no programming. So yeah, I've set the multifunction steering wheel to off. Now there's a problem. Look, the horn's not working. So it is right. To get the horn to work, you have to activate the multifunction steering wheel in PIWIS. So if I activate that now and say it's installed and write it to the memory. So let's see. All right, so that works. It's true, if you are fitting a Gen 2 steering wheel to your Gen 1 Porsche, regardless of whether you have a multifunction steering wheel or not, I did originally have one, you have to have that activated to get the horn to work. If you deactivate the multifunction, or if you didn't have one to begin with, and you don't set that code in PIWIS, the horn won't work on your car. So that's just something to bear in mind. It's annoying to get that code every time. And I think if I replaced the control unit for the steering wheel to the Gen 2 version and coded it to the car, then I could clear that and I could turn off multifunction. But I don't care really. As long as the horn works, that's all that matters, right? Now, one of the things that I've always wanted to do is there's a stopwatch here, and it only illuminates when you're using the stopwatch, right? So if you're driving at night, for instance, and your lights are on, the light inside of here is not on. And I thought it was broken actually. And I was trying to investigate why. And then I found out it's actually supposed to be like that. It's only supposed to activate whilst you're actually using the stopwatch, which is never. So I want to have that illuminated whenever I turn the headlights on. Some people don't like the stopwatch. I don't particularly like it. I just like it to be illuminated so it doesn't look like it's broken to me. So head to PIWIS. All right, so if I go into this list here, I go down to stopwatch, and I click next. And then I've got stopwatch. I say coding. Now there's not a lot of coding that you can do to the stopwatch. But when I go into this next section, you see it says illumination settings. So it says lighting in standby mode off. So if I say on and I program this, click go. Now you can see, whoops, the stopwatch has just recalibrated itself. Now if I go and switch on the lights, you can see now that the stopwatch illuminates when I turn the headlights on or when I turn the lights on. So now it works all the time. The only thing that I would prefer is that it says 0000, and that's staying on as well. So ideally I'd like that to switch off and just the lights in the illumination around the edge to turn on, but that's apparently not possible, at least not from this menu, because that's the only option that I've got. I like that, so I'm going to leave it like that, and I'll get used to it. The zeros. It's on the newer cars. That's a clock, but you can't. At least with basic PIWIS programming, you can't change that. There's probably some way to change it, but I haven't discovered that one yet. But that's the result.